Friday
Okay,
night.
good evening, everyone. We call the regular city council meeting to order. It is Monday, August 25th at 6 o'clock. Do a roll call. Ben?
Here.
Dar?
Here.
Adam?
Here.
Maureen?
Here.
Mike?
Here.
And I haven't heard from Lindsay.
Sorry, she is sick. I forgot to let you know.
Okay. So would everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comments. The council received public comments on any item related to the agenda, and a discussion by the council may take place. Okay, hearing none. Next item is consent agenda. Fire and EMS Commission minutes from August 6th. Board review from August 7th. City Council minutes from August 11th. Parks and Public Works Committee minutes from August 18th. Approval of closures for Prescott days. Friday, September 5th. Merkert Mill parking lot on Front Street from Orange intersection to the end of the cul-de-sac. Saturday, September 6th. Broad Street from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, September 6th. Elm and Court Street at Public Square Park from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. No parking on Orange and Kinnickinnick Street at Public Square Park. Saturday, September 6th. St. Croix Street in front of the American Legion all day. An amplifier permit for Prescott Days, Friday, September 5th, and Sunday, September 7th.
Motion to approve the consent agenda, items 1 through 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Well, the only thing, I think they might have forgot to close up Elm Street and Cherry Street for the parade. Or is that going to go somewhere else?
No, that's, we don't have that on here, but that would be one of the things that we'd be doing as well, with the,
Okay.
at least temporarily while the parade is going on.
Right.
Any other discussion?
That's it.
Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next item on the agenda, Matt, you wanna?
Yes. So, at our meeting on, we have public hearing. Apologize, I lost my spot for a second. So at our meeting on February 10th, we approved ordinance 03-25. This was our initial modification and update to our public facilities needs assessment, and then adopting the new impact fees as part of that. One of the things that was left off was looking at multifamily. So Trilogy Consulting is who we use. So in discussions with council, we decided to move forward with updating it so we could make sure that we address multifamily. So I have, with Trilogy, Eric Granum has joined us. So I'm going to bring up my computer here and just turn it towards you, and he's going to just give a quick overview of what the changes are that we're proposing, and then the ordinance that you are considering tonight. So Eric, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That was a yes, Eric. I don't know if you can hear them.
Oh, I'll turn up my volume. Okay. Yeah, just briefly, Matt reached out and requested that we make the amendment to update the needs assessment and impact fee structure to include the units for the smaller multifamily residential. Historically, there hasn't been much, and the previous ordinance treated all residential units equally. That's why we didn't propose to have smaller fees for multifamily at the time. But so the only updates are to the fees for the smaller multifamily units. All the other fees are the same as were previously adopted.
Anybody have any questions?
Do you want a motion to go to a public hearing?
I'll second it.
I'll make a motion to go into a public hearing.
Well, I thought, no, I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, go into public hearing. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, I'll do a roll call. Mike?
Here.
Maureen?
Here.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben? Okay, we are, public hearing is now open.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? I'll do the roll call once again. Ben?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Maureen?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing is now closed. Next item on the agenda is to consider approval of ordinance 07-25, an ordinance to amend and addition city ordinance chapter 352 impact fees. Matt, you have anything for that?
I'll just add, as Eric said, the biggest thing that we wanted to address that unfortunately we didn't address when we first looked at this was multifamily. The past approval, to Eric's point, we haven't had a major multifamily development really since the early 2000s. Our initial impact fees didn't have any clarification for multifamily, but really when you look at some of the surrounding communities and the fact that a one-bedroom apartment was paying the same amount of impact fees as, say, a 4 or 5 bedroom house, trying to make sure that we broke them up more equally. Similarly, what we did for commercial industrial, where we broke them up by acreage and square footage so that we can address, make sure that they're paying the share that's needed rather than being too burdensome to the development. So that's really ultimately what is before you and what the ordinance that is being asked to consider now.
I will make a motion to approve ordinance 07-25, an ordinance to amend and additions to the city ordinance chapter 352 impact fees.
Second.
Okay, do we have to break this down into 3 readings, or can this
No,
just be
it can be the first reading tonight for approval.
just the first reading or for approval?
For approval.
Okay. Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is reports of standing committees and commissions. Finance, we need to discuss possible dates for budget meetings. Matt, you want to take that?
Yes, so generally what we've done, at least the last couple of years, is we have one meeting to go over capital projects and discuss wages and other special budgetary items that we need to address in September. And then either the first or second week in October is our overall budget meeting where we go department by department, review their line items, and discuss then the overall potential levy impact. So basically what we're looking for is some input of what you would like to see. For the first meeting, I will state that if we do it on a Wednesday like we tend to do, the 24th is not an option because that's a fire and EMS commission meeting of September. So potentially the 17th for the first meeting, if that works, or a Wednesday. Otherwise, we can look at a different day of the week.
17th
Works for me.
Good for me.
Good here.
Of September?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good? Okay.
And then for the second meeting, either October 1st or October 8th.
Either one's fine for me.
Yeah, I'm open as well.
Yeah, me too.
Either one.
Either first or eighth.
I gotta get to.
Well, October 1st, we have no other meetings, which is pretty rare for a given week. So if
Yeah.
we want to add a meeting to our schedule because we don't.
I kind of like that idea.
Okay, state
Make it the
first.
first.
Okay,
Okay, October 1st?
You, Ed? Ben, you good for that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So the one on the 17th would be considering a 5 o'clock start time, if that works for everybody.
Sure.
The October 17th?
no, September 7th.
September 17th.
Oh, September 17th. Okay, that's fine.
And then October 1st, we've gone as early as 4 o'clock in the past, but I don't know
Yeah.
if that will work for everybody, or if we want to push it back further.
It's,
4?
Whatever works.
fine.
Okay.
I'll make it work.
so 4? Okay,
And the 17th was what time?
5.
Fine. Okay, we all good with that? Okay. Next item on the agenda is Planning Commission. Next meeting is Tuesday, September 2nd at 6, and that's due to Labor Day being on the 1st. Parks and Public Works Committee report. Lindsay's not here. You want to handle that, Matt?
Sure. So we reviewed the Ride and Road preliminary design. One of the things that we have been looking at is if we want to break up the business park into smaller parcels. We've had inquiries about that in the past. So getting a preliminary cost estimate, so when we're talking about potential land sale, what we would need to see either from a development in the past. With some of our larger developments, we've given the land like for $1, or if that is the idea, if that would generate enough increment to then help or to pay for any public infrastructure that we'd have to develop up there. If it's a smaller project, that would not be the case, so we'd have to look to subsidize through the actual sale of the land to help pay for that infrastructure. So Cedar Corporation has completed that cost estimate, and it was just, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but for the actual infrastructure itself with sewer, water, storm in the street, it was just over $2 million what we're looking at. If we were to consider grading on top of that, we're looking at just over $4 million. So the idea would be that any development would do their own grading, and then we would come in with infrastructure as part of that. So that's something we have though now, which is good. So as we're having conversations, we can have that financial analysis as part of that. We talked about an adopt a tree program. Currently, one of the things we're looking at for 2026's budget is putting together putting in a $5,000 line item for implementing tree replacements throughout the city, especially if you've had a loss of tree in your front yard due to emerald ash borer. That would be looking at that, or if you're part of the Elm Washington Locust Tree Project, where we've had to remove trees as part of redoing those streets, replacing those, although it would be a citywide project, so anybody could apply, although the idea would be those would be first come, first serve, or first on the priority list before we look at other areas. So developing some guidelines for that, reviewed that, and overall the committee then recommended moving forward to Finance Committee. So that's one of the things we'll talk about in our September Finance Committee with everyone. And then one of those other items that we'll be talking about is the Sunset Park improvements. That's part of our capital projects for 2026. We'll be reviewing that again. The idea will be on the 15th that the actual committee will be going out and taking a tour, just looking at it and figuring out what overall we'd like to do, and then bringing those recommendations to the Finance Committee on the 17th to further discuss. So with that, and then we talked about the Public Square Park pickleball improvements. We got a request to add some more fencing from the pickleball group, with them paying for that cost. So talked about that briefly, and the committee was in favor, as it's not going to be a cost to the city. They'll be reimbursing the city for that cost. So basically just looking at adding a fence to split the two existing pickleball courts, so when you're playing, the ball doesn't roll in between the two courts. So it's just a 4-foot fence that would divide them. That's it. So
Okay, thank you. Then Health and Safety, the next meeting is Monday, September 8th at 5 o'clock. Personnel Committee report from Wednesday, July 30th, August 6th.
Yeah, I gave that last time, Mayor, but I'm happy to do it again. The first meeting was for the group in a closed session to put all of the responses that we gathered from the council together for the annual review with Matt. And the second meeting was to talk with Matt, and what a fun job we think he's done this past year, as usual. And the staff are to be commended as well.
I apologize, that wasn't last meeting. This wasn't an opportunity. I was not trying to be involved as soon as I did.
Just wanted to hear
Mistakenly
it.
leave it.
One more time, yeah.
He missed me last week. He's under stress.
Okay, then the next meeting is Wednesday, November 5th at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
The next item on the agenda is communication and new business. Public comments. The council received public comments on any issue not related to the agenda items. Then discussion by the city and council may take place. However, no action will be taken on any item, include receiving a written request, documentation, possible action in a future meeting. Okay, hearing nothing. Next item is approval of CDL certification reimbursement agreement between the City of Prescott and Public Works employee Mike Westberg.
Thank you, Mayor. So at our July 14th meeting, we approved the overall agreement, the CDL agreement for reimbursement for Public Works employees getting their CDL. Right now, the cost is running between $2,000 to $2,500 to get those. So basically offering an incentive for employees for the city to help out as long as they retain employment with the city for 36 months. So this agreement before you tonight is with our most recent Public Works employee, Mike Westberg. He'll be taking the CDL certification through, and I'm forgetting the school right now, but just to the north of us. And the total training cost is $2,044, and the idea is the further you get into the 36 months, the less you would have to reimburse the city as you went. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
I'll make a motion to approve reimbursing Mike Westerberg for his CDL.
Second?
A motion and a second for the approval of CDL certification reimbursement. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Other business?
I just wanted to bring up one thing. I'm going to be posting on Facebook as well, but Eagle Scout Noah Collins was looking for a project, so he reached out to us, and he repainted, put in new wood, and completely fixed up the old gear house building that we have down in Mill Park. It looks really nice, so I just wanted to commend him for his great
Excellent
work
job.
that he did.
I went down.
That's great. Amazing. If he needs any references, tell him he can let us know.
Okay, if there's no other business, we're going to go into closed session. Closed session per Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, investing in public funds, or conducting any other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. To wit, discussion, consideration of a development agreement with Capital Investment Partners.
Motion to go into closed session?
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go into closed session. Any discussion? Going to do a roll call. Mike?
Aye.
Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Okay, we are in closed session.